And we have a special guest on the line now. Good evening, Sniffer.
Good evening to all.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, great, thanks. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, no worries. I got the phone call.
Yeah, so, of course, are you the lead guitarist in Spider?
I am the lead guitarist, yeah.
It's a fantastic band. So I was saying earlier, I remember seeing you at the Bournemouth Winter Gardens on the Rough Justice tour. Absolutely amazing gig.
Oh, fantastic. What a tour. It was just amazing tour. At the peak of our time. So, yeah, it was a really good tour.
Well, I got to know you when you was on the Tommy Vance show on Radio 1.
All right.
I hadn't heard of you before that, but you are a bit like Crow, but I think you're a bit heavier than Crow. And it was always a good gig. Well, I only saw you once, but it was a fantastic evening. What was your highlight of your career?
Highlight was probably Reading Festival.
1982.
1982.
I wasn't there, but I heard about it.
But it just had a fantastic feeling when you went onto that stage. It was like walking onto a football pitch, literally. I had all that space, and I don't know whether you know, but I used to move around quite a lot.
Right.
I still do now. I'm in a band now, but not quite Spider standards, but really good rock and roll.
And do you play Spider songs live?
We do, yes, we do. And we actually play Rock and Roll Gypsies, which you played tonight.
Great track.
Oh, fantastic. And, I hope we do it justice. It's a really good song. And actually our singer requested that we play that song in my band now. So he's in an AC/DC tribute band.
Right.
And he felt that song was very similar to AC/DC. So there you go. Where's the quo sound in that one?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I should ask you this or not. How did you get the name Sniffer?
I got it because I used to chase all the other girlfriends, but I never got me anywhere. Right,
because I'm known as Pyro, but I didn't get the name by setting fire to anything. But I've always had a fascination with fire. That's why I'm Pyro.
Right. Well, so did we in the band. We used to have pyrotechnics, and we used to use them in the pubs and the clubs when we first started, even in the bigger venues. So we used to make our own explosives, and it was quite effective. So you would have liked.
Yeah, I would have done. Pyro. I was in a band myself at one time. Not only a bit of fun. I was in a band called Disaster Area.
Oh right, okay.
And we had pyros. We had a gig. We played in the church hall, funny enough. And we did Silver Machine in our set, and we had a motorbike in the set. And the singer forgot to empty the petrol out the tank. We were going to let our pyros off, and somebody told us the tank was leaking, so we couldn't let our pyros off.
What a shame, mate.
It was a good day.
Such a good thing.
Before you go, I know you got a gig tomorrow. Do you want to plug it?
Yeah, sure. We're playing at the Wellington Arms in Sandhurst tomorrow, and we'll be on stage at 9 p.m.
That's great. You need to get to the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Hopefully with Spider.
Yeah. Well, there is a rumour that we're going to get together.
I hope so. The trouble is, Rob E. Burrows is in Australia, isn't he?
He lives in Australia, and that's part of the reason Debbie's trying to get this T-shirt sorted out, so that all the proceeds go to him coming over. Yes. So I really hope that comes off.
I do. So get your T-shirt orders in, and also order the album. So I can't wait for mine to come.
Yeah, I've got mine. So.
And it's an absolute honour speaking to you, anyway.
Yeah. No. Thanks for speaking to me.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot, then.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
There you go. Wow. That's made your day, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Let's take a call. Good evening, Vectis Radio.
Hello, is the Pyro Rock Monster there, please?
The Pyro Rock Monster is right on the other end. You're
Hello.
live at the moment.
Hello, I'm on the air.
You are live on air, yeah.
All right. Pyro, it's Robbie from Spider. I tried to message you on Facebook.
Oh, hello, Robbie. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, listen, I'm out and about at the moment. I'm not listening to the show, but obviously I can get it on podcast when I get back to Oz.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Rob is the drummer with the Mighty Spider. We've played them several times.
Yeah, it's been great. Look, thanks for the plugs, man. You're doing a great thing.
Thanks. I played you 4 times now on my Rock Monster show. We've had Sniffer on the show before, so it's an honour to have you on.
Yeah, no, I listen to that as well. No, I do listen to them back and forth, but it takes a few days, obviously, for them to come through.
Yeah.
It's a great rock show. I really do like it.
Thank you very much. You just had a reunion gig at Debbie's birthday party, I believe.
It wasn't actually a reunion gig as such. What happened was, because it was Debbie's party, and like, the story behind Debbie is she used to be our T-shirt girl. We've known her forever. I've known her since she was 18. And yeah, we all came together for their birthday party. Colin Smith was always going to get up anyway and play. So we went for a rehearsal on the Friday before. So I was going to play. And then Brian, he just got up. And we had a great old time.
Yeah, that's great. Of course, you are planning a Spider gig next year. So do you know when that's likely to take place?
Mate, I'm not used to this country. I hope it's in the bloody summer.
Oh, no, it's freezing, isn't it?
Oh, mate, I forgot how cold it gets.
Very cold, very cold. Going to get colder over the next week as well.
Yeah, one thing I was going to ask you, I read on Facebook last night, you had a gig in Bristol and the lighting rig fell on your drum kit.
Yeah, we were on tour. Debbie had left the T-shirts in the bus because she was busy doing other stuff. And my roadie went to give her a hand to get the T-shirts out of the bus. And instead of him getting me a cup of tea, I got off my drum kit, went and got myself a cup of tea. And when I came back, the lighting truss had fallen on the kit.
Ouch. Just as well you went for a cup of tea then.
Well, it's a good job the roadie was helping Debbie, because he would have been laughing, wouldn't he? He'd have had a cup of tea to drink.
Yeah, that could have been nasty.
Oh yeah, well it trashed the back line and stuff. We couldn't do the gig that night, which was a pain. And then the next day we were in Poole, Dorset.
Yeah.
We drove there, we got all the gear, and we spent the whole day rebuilding the back line. My drum riser, my monitor had gone straight through it, so we had to sort of rebuild that. And we had like some of the stage effects. We had some mizzen huts and we had goon towers. We had to rebuild all that. But we did. The show went on. It was great. Got past it. You have to when you're on the road.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, sir, thank you very much for joining us on the Friday Rock Show.
Going to play a Spider track later on. Did you want to pick a track, Rob?
Yeah, have you got any live stuff like Did You Like It Baby or all the time?
Yeah, we got all of that. I got the anthology on my playlist. So, yeah, we got Did You Like It Baby. We'll stick that on later on.
Oh, wicked. Thanks, guys. And as I say, I'll catch you when I get back to Oz, but keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as you do get over here in the summer, I don't know how many gigs you plan. It'd be nice to see you on the Isle of Wight. It probably won't happen, but it'd be nice if it did.
Well, is there a festival on the Isle of Wight anymore?
We have, yeah. You need to get on to, what's his name?
Solo, John Giddens.
You need to get on to John Giddens. We have to start a campaign for Spider for the Isle of Wight Festival.
Look, as I say, we're looking for a gig. If it's the Isle of Wight, that's fine. You know what I mean? That'll work for us. I'm sure it would. Brilliant. So, we'll see what we can work out.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Rob.
All right, and listen, you guys have a great night.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Rob. Keep
I'm just off to see Sniffer now play with Replicant.
Right.
Fantastic. Well, best wishes to you, Rob.
All right, cheers.
I'm joined on the phone now by Cole Hartness of the Cole Hartness Band and of course, the legendary Spider from the 80s. Good evening, Colin.
Hello, Barry. It's nice to talk to you.
Thanks for calling.
Oh, no problem. I've been listening to the show.
Thanks. Many years ago, of course, the Spider days were great days. They were one of my favourite bands of the era, and I always felt you didn't get the credit that you deserved. I was going to ask you, you brought the anthology out last year, and I noticed there's 2 or 3 tracks on there that says new versions. I wondered if you remixed them, because I didn't think you'd have got back together to re-record them.
No, we've not got back together to re-record them. What has actually happened is that the lads who are working on remixing the sound, they managed to get hold of the original master tapes for the first time. So they've been remixed and really polished up, firstly by a guy called Steve Leslie up in Scotland, who, truth be known, he was rather instrumental in getting the whole ball going in a roundabout way. And then from there, to Tim Chiran at the Cherry Red End, and it's been marvellous, really, because I've been listening to some of the stuff, and I'm hearing things, I'd forgotten we'd done, like little harmonies in the background and little licks that Sniffer puts in here and there on his lead solos, little fills Robbie does here and there, it's been a whole new listening experience for me as well.
Yeah, it's great. And I was going to ask you about the gigs as well. I saw UFO last week in the Pyramids in Portsmouth.
Always a worthwhile experience.
It was great, and a great local support band as well, and the band from Greece.
Yeah.
And of course, UFO were used to play in the big venues, and 28 years previous, I saw UFO in Portsmouth Guildhall. Of course, it's a lot bigger venue. I just wondered what you think about, like yourself, you must have played some big venues, about you doing your gigs and playing small venues. Like, from the fans' point of view, I like it. It's very intimate.
Well, the thing about Spider, and in a lot of cases with bands who've had a long experience of being on the road, it doesn't really matter where you play. You put the same amount of effort and, drive into the shows you do, say, in the Dog and Duck as you would a Hammersmith Odeon, because the spirit's still there when you're playing your songs. Of course, it's nice playing the bigger venues because it means, obviously, you've gained a bit of success here and there along the way. Smaller venues, there's nothing wrong with playing the smaller venues at all whatsoever. It's always a buzz wherever you play,
It's certainly experience, particularly when you go to the Brook in Southampton. It's ram-packed in there, and I was unfortunate enough to be stuck by the bar, or fortunate enough because I kept getting drinks all the time, so that was pretty good.
Well, some of my favourite memories have been with Spider, was, some of the venues like the old Bull Inn in Hornchurch. That was a small, intimate venue, but we had some real crazy nights there. And, places like the Duke of Lancaster in Barnet. I mean, those are only little places, but, when they were packed to the rafters and people were going for it, it was a fabulous atmosphere. Really good days.
It certainly is. And you've got a gig in a couple of weeks with the Cole Harkness Band, and Sniffer's going to be enjoying you before Status Quo at Wembley.
Yeah, how all that came about is there's a Status Quo tribute band called Status Quo, and a few of the members are actually in the Cole Harkness Band. So, and we thought, well, I was invited, we might as well get, because I've been out of action for the last couple of months or so because I've had dental problems. I've had some dental work done. I had to pull out of a gig in Mansfield. But we've got a gig coming up in April, the 6th of April, at Victoria Bikers Pub in Colville, Leicester. That's the Cole Harkness Band. And we were looking for an excuse to warm up. And as I was going down to London anyway to see Status Quo at Hammersmith Odeon on the 16th and Quo at Wembley on the 17th, as Status Quo were playing Hammersmith Distillers Arms as warm-up gigs before the Quo, Mikey invited me along and said, would you like to get up and why don't you drag Sniffer along as well? And I thought, well, what a jolly good idea. I can't think of a better way to warm up than amongst, boogie people.
It certainly sounds like a good night. A good afternoon, I should say, 'cause it's a lunchtime gig, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's fantastic. As well as playing, it's just to be part of that atmosphere because there'll be people there from all over Europe. You get the Quo Army from Germany and France and Holland, all over Europe. And they all tend to gravitate to these gigs during the afternoon before the main event in the evening. So it's a fantastic experience, it really is.
Did you want to give the venue out in case anyone's listening wants to come along?
Yes, it's the Hammersmith Distillers Arms, and the show that Sniffer and I are going to be appearing at will be the Sunday the 17th, in between 1 o'clock in the afternoon and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it finishes early, so it can allow those of us who are going over to see Quo at the arena to hop off.
Okay, great. Do you want to introduce your track you're going to play?
Yes, this is a track from the Raise the Banner album. It was also released as a single. It's called Gimme Gimme It All.
Okay, thanks. Nice talking to you, Cole. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.